Is deal source worth paying for when buying a property in the UK in the current economic climate? In this video, I'm going to discuss with you whether deal sourcing is worth paying for in the UK, whether it's a waste of money. Deal sourcing has been a popular topic for quite a while, and deal sources have been around for just as long. You'll be surprised to hear. In the UK, where the property market is, I'd say, highly competitive, finding good deals can be a challenge, and it's important you find good deals, because if you pay too much for them, everything else isn't going to add up, in my experience. However, with the rise of deal sources and deal sourcing companies and individuals offering their services, the question is, should you be looking to pay a deal sourcer, and is it money well spent? First of all, let me define what deal sourcing means and what a deal sourcer is. In very simple terms, deal sourcing is the process of finding, analyzing and securing profitable property deals. Sounds good, right? It involves various strategies such as networking, marketing, online searches, and doing everything where you look to find property. The goal of deal sourcing is to identify undervalued or distressed properties, or properties being sold at below market value from a motivated seller for a number of reasons, and then that property is sold on to investors. Now, why should I talk about the value of deal sourcing in 2023? Well, for one, the UK property market is constantly evolving and changing, and there's peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, highs and lows, and supply and demand changes, and financing changes, tax policies change, the legal framework changes, the economic outlook changes. Therefore, we need to consider everything, just like we need to consider deal sourcing. Moreover, right now is a crucial year for the UK. After Brexit and COVID, things are changing, and inflation is up, interest rates are going up, so there's an interesting mix of what might happen in the near future. So it's always worth considering everything you're paying for and how to make things work better for you. Now, access to exclusive deals is one of the main reasons why deal sourcing may be worth paying for, because what you want is exclusive deals where you're the only person looking at the deal if possible. A good deal sourcing company or professional will have access to properties that are not listed on Rightmove or online or with agents, and they'll only send them to a select group of investors who they know, like and trust. Don't buy properties from an agent or deal sourcer who's basically taking a property from an estate agent, because that's not deal sourcing, they're just kind of being an intermediary. Now, by paying a deal sourcer for their services, you'll have an advantage, because you've got less people looking at a deal, so it's more likely you'll secure it. Moreover, deal sources may have expertise and should have expertise and experience in identifying the best deals based on your investment goals, your budget and your risk tolerance, and in terms of what you're looking to achieve. Time saving and convenience are two other major factors and reasons why I think it's worth paying for a deal sourcer, because if you search for properties, it's going to take time. It can be a slow and long and frustrating process, especially if you don't have the right tools, skills or connections. By effectively outsourcing this to a deal sourcer or a third party, you can save time, you can focus on what you're good at and focus on your investment strategies, and obviously on financing, funding, renovating, marketing and everything else that you do, and just get someone else to do this job because they're better at it. Deal sources will usually provide a turnkey solution that includes doing the due diligence, legal support if possible, post-purchase management sometimes, but they'll also help you navigate through the properties. Risk reduction is important, and this is a third reason why I think it's worth paying for a deal sourcer. Investing in property can be risky. You can lose a lot of money as well as making it, and if you don't have a deep understanding and knowledge of the marketplace, the regulations and property specific factors and issues, then you want that information. By working with a professional deal sourcer, you can reduce the risk of making costly mistakes, such as overpaying for properties or underestimating the cost of renovations and everything else that's required. A good deal sourcer will help you navigate around those things. Some deal sources may offer a money-back guarantee or a risk-sharing arrangement that aligns your interests with them. That's well worth considering. Cost effectiveness is a fourth reason why deal sourcing may be worth paying for, and although deal sourcing fees will vary depending on who you're working with and the scope of their services, I think they are cost effective and they're going to help you maximize your returns. I always use a deal sourcer where I can, and they've always served me really well, but not all are come equal. By paying a fee for the deal sourcer, you can potentially save money in the purchase price and generate a higher profit margin in the long run and improve your rental yield. Remember that deal sourcing fees can be tax deductible, so factor that into your calculations. The fifth reason is emerging trends, and this is very important. The property market is not static, and there are many emerging trends that deal sourcers can capitalize because they know the property market well. They're looking after a lot of clients and looking after a lot of properties. At the moment, co-living, co-working and sustainable housing are popular, and a good deal sourcer will point that out to you to see if you're interested in those things. So the trends are changing at the minute because people are looking for more affordable homes, costs are going up, there's less margin, less disposable income, so you need to be aware of that. Deal sourcers who are innovative and adaptable may find it easy to attract buyers because they have their own marketing machine. They know how to find unique deals for you. They also need to know how to find deals that stack up, because at the end of the day, for them to pass on a deal or to source it, they need to make sure that the deal stacks up. One of the risks of deal sourcing is that investors may end up paying for services that do not deliver results. There are many deal sources out there, and none of them, all of them are reliable, and they don't all come equal. They don't have the same level of experience, expertise, and some of them charge more than what their service is worth. So that's why I think it's important you pay them on completion and don't pay them anything up front. That's my personal view. I'd rather pay a higher percentage at the end rather than paying some kind of a fee up front and then some at the end. Now, one of the main risks is obviously market uncertainty. While the UK obviously is a reasonably resilient economy and a marketplace, and generally speaking we've seen good growth over the last 15 odd years, at least in the last 12 years. There's still uncertainty right now coming out of the pandemic and everything else that's happened in the last few years, so you need to be aware of that. Deal sources may find it harder to predict the market trends because they don't have a crystal ball, but they do know which properties work, what the market price is, and they can work out what you need once you tell them, and then find properties that work for you. So it's like a bespoke service. They'll also be able to help assist you with financing. They might not be a broker per se, but they'll know good brokers who can support you and get things over the line because they're in the property market, they've got contacts, they've got their own power team. You also need to be aware of legal and regulatory changes, and this is a risk that is obviously a significant risk. Now, the UK has introduced various measures in the housing market over the years. Some that come to mind are stamp duty, first time buyer schemes, help to buy scheme, section 24 for finance costs. So there's quite been extensive changes. Now, some of these measures may not be extended and then they've come to an end, but the policies keep changing, so it's important that if you're in the game, you stay on top of the game, and if you can't, then a deal sourcer or other advisors will assist you with that. So for example, there's been proposed reforms to the leasehold system, energy efficient and energy performance standards, planning regulations. All these are changing, and a good deal sourcer will be aware of these and will assist you with the implications and the costs, so you go into deal with your eyes open. Now, something else to bear in mind is regional disparities, and this is an additional risk you need to be aware of. The UK market is not homogeneous, and there are significant variations in prices, demand and supply across regions, cities, so you need to know where you get the best returns. Deal sources will help you do that, by the way, and deal sources need to be aware of all these differences and then to identify the best areas for you based on the criteria and the goals and the budget that you've set with them and to share with them alongside your risk appetite. Now, currently I think regional disparities are becoming more pronounced, especially with the changes in migration patterns, the job market and the infrastructure and investment that the government is putting into certain areas. Technology disruption is another risk that you need to be aware of. It's good if you're ahead of the curve and ahead of the trend, not so good if you're behind the curve. So there's a huge focus and move towards digital transformation, both in terms of platforms and innovative solutions offered by deal sources and the property market, alongside obviously making tax digital for accounts and everything else that we can do online nowadays. And this is just going to improve and change as things move forward. As we look at artificial intelligence, robotics, we're going to move into the next wave of the information age, which basically means that you and I need to upskill ourselves so that we're not left behind and our jobs don't become redundant. The current state of the UK market is that the UK property market has been affected by various factors in recent years, which I've already covered for you, from Brexit to the pandemic and all the other changes that have come about, including where we are right now in terms of the cost of living crisis. And in this year, I expect that the market will change somewhat because lending is becoming tougher, tighter, interest rates are going up, people are unsure, there's uncertainty. So I think the marketplace will change and we will probably see the market become more steady, because there's been some good growth over the past 10-12 years, I'd say, and that's going to slow down in my opinion. Now, if you've got time and expertise to find good deals, then I'd say it's worth probably doing on your own, and you might not benefit from a deal sourcer. But if you're busy like I am and you've got other businesses or other business interests, then I would always advocate that you use a deal sourcer who can find you really good deals, especially if you haven't got the time, or if you want off-market opportunities, or you want deals which fit your specific requirements. So in conclusion, deal sourcing can be a valuable service for property investors as long as you do the due diligence and find somebody who is the right fit for you, who's reputable and who knows what they're doing and who can deliver. Because I think this year the marketplace is going to be competitive with the changes taking place. There'll probably be less demand, but that doesn't always mean that you're going to find good deals. You still have to go out looking for them, and a good deal sourcer will do that for you, so you can focus on the things that you're good at, because we can't be all things to all people and we can't be good at everything. And I'm a big advocate of delegate the things that you're not good at, or you don't have time to do, or you don't want to do, and focus on what you're really good at. And usually we all have between 2 to 4 or 5 skills that we're really good at, 1 to 2 skills that we're exceptionally good at. And I think we should focus on the 1 or 2 that we're exceptionally good at, everything else delegate. So deal sources, I think, are worth their weight in gold. I'd strongly advocate that you should think about using them, because like I said to you earlier, I have used them in the past, I am using them now, and I will continue using them. But to find a good one takes time, so do your research, due diligence on them, and once you find them, look after them so that they send you deals and you can do more deals.